It's time now for This Week in Rock and Roll History, brought to you by Tom Tayback. Take a moment to stroll with us down memory lane to the good old days, those rock and roll gold days.
Hi, everybody. Tom Tayback here. Happy to be your tour guide going back to the days of soda shops and sock hops in the gym. Let's begin with a little Elvis trivia. Can you name his first record to land on the pop chart? It happened this week in 1955, and the title, Baby, Let's Play House. Also, it was this same week in 1955 that Bill Haley and his Comets made music history with the first rock and roll song to top the Billboard charts, Rock Around the Clock. 1956, Dick Clark makes his debut as the host of Bandstand on Philadelphia TV. The name of the show would change to American Bandstand when ABC picks it up for national broadcast in 1957. Bill Haley and his Comets are denied permission to play at the Roosevelt Stadium in Jersey City because of a new ordinance which reads, rock and roll music encourages juvenile delinquents and inspires young females in lewd clothing to perform obscene dances. This week in 1957, Paul McCartney and John Lennon meet for the first time. Lennon's band, The Quarrymen, was playing at a church social. In the church basement, between sets, 15-year-old McCartney teaches 16-year-old Lennon how to play Eddie Cochran's 20 Flight Rock and Gene Vincent's Be Bopalula. Now remember, just a couple of years ago, Elvis charted his first pop single. Well, this week in 1957, Teddy Bear becomes his 8th number one hit. 1958, Ricky Nelson enters the charts with Poor Little Fool. It'll top out at number 1. 1959, Bobby Darin sits at number 2 in the U.S. with Dream Lover, but it's number 1 in the U.K. Neil Sedaka, by the way, backed him on piano. 1963, 3 members of the Marine Corps stationed at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, called themselves the Essex, and they had the number 1 hit with Easier Said Than Done. Also this week in 1963, James Brown holds the number 2 album spot with Live at the Apollo. It would spend 33 weeks on the top sellers charts. 1964, I Get Around becomes the first number 1 single for the Beach Boys. The Beatles film A Hard Day's Night premieres in Liverpool. Hundreds of thousands line the streets for a parade from the airport to the city center. 1965, the Dave Clark Five follow the Beatles onto the silver screen with their premiere of Having a Wild Weekend, featuring Catch As If You Can, I Can't Stand It, and yes, Having a Wild Weekend. And finally, who can forget this week in 1967 when a Stamford, Connecticut band called The Fifth Estate hits number 11 on the charts with Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead, which they rearranged, of course, from the 1939 movie The Wizard of Oz. Now that's rock and roll.
If this is your kind of music, you'll love my Rock and Roll Showcase, featuring trivia and stories about the rock and roll stars along with their charted hit singles at Podomatic.com or on YouTube. Podomatic.com or YouTube. Just search Tom Tayback. That's Tayback. Rock and roll is here to stay, baby.